In progress.
Tonight's newest nonprofit is coming out of Tampa, Florida. She's a mother that lost her 12-year-old to gun violence. As you know, we work with organizations like hers from around the country. That being said, let's first start with the news report, and then let's move to meet the person as she tells her story. But what you should also know, that's not part of her conversation, that she shared with me after the interview, was that she forgave this young person who killed her son. And she didn't want him, the young person that killed her son, to spend the rest of his life in prison.
Knows the heartache of losing a child, spoke to students at Greco Middle School today to try to help understand the gravity of gun violence.
10 Tampa Bay's Miranda Parnell was there to capture her emotional message and the tragic story of her 12-year-old son, James Lett Jr.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I promise to make sure your name stay alive.
A mother dedicated to keeping her word after losing her only son to senseless gun violence.
So now me and my girls want to see it, we have to go to a grave. All because somebody thought it was cool to have a gun.
And now Trina Jackson is trying to prevent more parents from feeling that same pain by speaking directly to students in Tampa.
If I was able to save one child life, like, hey, it's not cool, man, put the guns down, I did my job.
Jackson said her son James had a smile that was worth $1 million. She last got to see that smile 10 months ago when James was tragically shot and killed in a home by a 14-year-old.
My sister came and looked me in the eyes and she was like, you must not know. And I was like, know what? And she was like, James is gone. My heart dropped.
Now this mother is speaking to students at her son's middle school about the repercussions that come with pulling a trigger, something she says has taken the lives of other children she knows each month since her son's death.
Every month after my son, they lost their son due to the same exact thing, gun violence. When will it stop it? When will it stop?
Now Jackson wants these kids to learn from her family's loss and keep her son's name alive. Before another parent has to suffer without their child. In Tampa, Miranda.
So now, let's meet the mother. You know, I'm here. I'm talking to a nonprofit, and we work with nonprofits around the country. As you know, in Black communities throughout the country, our kids are dying every day. There's a lot of pain that's going on in our community. Today, we're going to talk to a person in Tampa who has lost a loved one and let her share her story about who she is and what she did. So, ma'am, if you be so kind and keep in mind you're speaking to people from around the country.
Okay.
Would you tell your story?
Good afternoon. My name is Trina. I'm from Tampa, Florida. A short brief of my background. I have 3 kids at the age of 20, 16, and my baby, unfortunately, was 12. I let him go be with his dad while I go to work. Thanksgiving break, Christmas break. But unfortunately, due to circumstances, after Christmas break, I lost him at just 12. He was playing with his game at his dad's house like normal kids do. Another little child came over with a gun. They didn't know that he had a gun. The little boy said that he wasn't aware that a bullet was in the chamber while he was playing with it. And shot my baby in the back of his head. And that day, that's when my life changed forever.
Now, how old was your son?
He was 12 at the time. He was 12, only
Okay.
just 12. And he touched
Okay.
so many people's lives at just 12. So it took a minute at first to realize like my baby was actually gone. But
Okay, you're breaking up a little bit. You hear me?
yeah, I had to accept the fact that, you know, well, maybe just at just 12, his work was done because he touched so many lives, young people, old people. He can
Now,
make
what was the name of your son?
James Flat
Tell us the
Jr.
name. Okay, good. Let's continue.
James Flat Jr. So he was so outgoing. He was willing to help anybody. I don't care if you old, young, anybody. If he can help you, he will help you. So in honor of him, I wanted to start a nonprofit because there's so many kids around the world, just in Tampa alone. They have this mindset where you can actually kill somebody and they can come back to the next day, or they could come back. That's not the case. And I sit and try to talk to them and let them know that it's more to life than picking up guns or, you know, just being in the streets. And I have to tell them, like, the music that y'all listen to, the people that's making the music, they not out here doing what they say they doing. That's just something to pull y'all in to buy their music, because that's not what they doing out here. They brainwashing our kids. So like I tell them, like, if you want to do something positive, do something in my son's name, graduate, put them guns down and stay out of trouble. Trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out.
This let me jump in with this quick number so people can understand the magnitude. If you're an African American Black, you are 67% more likely to be killed with a gun than whites and other individuals. In our neighborhoods, the rate of death in our neighborhoods is very high compared to other neighborhoods. And there's so many reasons why that happens. But when we look at the level of violence in our neighborhood, this mother experienced a club that no mother wants to be a part of. And day after day and day after day, we was just in Baltimore and New York, the same old, same old. Our young people are dying every day. But here's what we know. It takes Black mothers like yourself that lost somebody, but they want to take that loss to make sure that no other parent feel the pain that they feel. You could have decided that you lost your loved one and you don't want to deal with nobody. You don't care about nobody, but you changed the narrative. And we're changing that narrative. We're changing that narrative by using a different approach to attract young males and females that's in the streets. We're using a hip hop approach. Contrary to popular belief, programs like Boys and Girls Club, programs like YMCA don't reach the level of violence that's in our neighborhood. And when we say don't reach, we mean that those people who are the hardcore at risk, these programs are focused towards a middle class approach to a street issue. Our approach look at it from a street perspective. We're changing that particular that narrative, and we're working hard to work with mothers like yourself to change that narrative. Not only do we work with you in terms of the nonprofit, the program, but we also identify funding, because it's so very important that you're able to operate with staff and things of that nature in order to change the narrative. Now, is there anything else you want to share
Um, I believe that's so. It's just with nonprofit, I just want to be able to touch as many youth as possible. So they're because they're our future. They're literally the future.
That's true.
If we don't have them, we don't have nobody to take care of us when we get old. Like they're the next generation. So if I can change or save anybody in my child's name, that's what I'm want to do. That's my goal.
And
is
what's
to
the name
change
of your nonprofit?
James Lett Foundation.
Okay, would you repeat that again?
That's James Lett, JamesLett, Lett, James Lett Foundation.
So we have people from around the nation that's watching this. My question to you, if someone wanted to give a donation, how could they contact you, email, or anything like that, to give a donation? Because we all know that we can talk the talk, or we can provide the donations necessary to create the organization necessary to stop the pain. That being said, what's your email?
My email is Latrina, that's Latrina, last name Jackson, Jackson. The year I was born, 1982, at gmail.com.
Okay, would you repeat that again, letter by letter?
LatrinaJackson 1982 at gmail.com.
If you had a message to share with another mother that has lost her child and how to keep strength, what would you share with that mother? Because as you know, African American young men, it's like they're being wiped away with these guns in the streets. We got more guns in the streets now than we've ever had before.
It's going.
Or you're coming in and you're coming out.
You have to be strong-minded, because the devil is real, and he will try to tell you, some things that you shouldn't tell you. I would tell you, if you have other kids, hold your babies close. So you need that support system. If you have a support system that's good.
Yeah, this video is coming back in and out, but I think people get the gist of what's we're trying to present to them. I work with nonprofits around the country, mothers that are in pain because, like she said earlier, because of all the guns that are in the streets. So definitely we want to work with you. We're going to go on the other side and talk some more detail. Anything else you want to leave before we leave today? And even though this video is experiencing technical difficulties, I think you understand what I'm saying when it comes to another Black mother that has lost her child. So how long ago was it that you lost your child?
January 8th, 2023.
2023.
Yes, so
okay.
It's still fresh.
So, go ahead, what you about to say?
No, I was saying it's still fresh. It's still kind of fresh.
We got to change this senseless killing that's going on in our neighborhood. But nobody's coming to save us but us. Right. That's why we focus on the most crime-ridden and drug-infested neighborhoods where guns are. When I was young, I could get a gun easily. Nowadays, that's the same old. So I want to thank you for taking your opportunity to spend your Sunday. But I want to remind folks, this nonprofit is about to get up and running. And one of the major things it's going to need is your donation. Thank you.